What is up, guys? How you doing? 3 different things today. I'm going to introduce you to my buddy Tren. We're going to go through an overhead press workout, upper body workout, have a lot of fun in the gym. And lastly, we're going to talk about 753. Hopefully answer some questions you might have about my training program that I just released about a week ago. So guys, this is my puppy that I got. He is a golden retriever. His name is Tren, like T-R-E-N. And I named him that because it just looks like his name is Tren, seriously. He's such a good boy. He's learning so quickly. And man, I just love this guy. He's such a good boy. It's insane. It's crazy. I love him so much, and I've only had him for like 2 days. So, man, he's a joy. He's going to grow up into a nice, big, handsome golden retriever. He is so aesthetic, it's not even funny. He's such an aesthetic boy. But let's get a close-up of him. Hey, Tren, say hi. Yeah, the name Tren definitely matches him. He just looks like his name's Tren. Doesn't it? Yes, you're such a good boy. Yes.
Hey, Tren.
I'm so tired.
Oh, big yawn. Oh, buddy.
He just walked out and dropped.
Buddy, are you sleepy? Do you need mama to
He's
carry
like,
you?
oh my god, this is rough. All right, let's take.
So this is some highlights from an overhead press workout about 5 weeks post-show, although we're approaching 6 weeks pretty soon. 185 pounds. Hit this for 9 reps. The previous overhead press workout, I did 8 reps. What I'm currently doing is just really increasing reps and or weight. So either double progression method or it's some pretty violent, I would say, some pretty aggressive progression that I've been making in terms of pretty much all my lifts. What I've noticed is that after a show, my strength doesn't really immediately come back, or at least the rate of progression doesn't get back to where it normally is or should be until I've spent 3-4 weeks in at a regular body fat level. So that's one big difference of this contest prep versus the previous one was I spent a handful of weeks in 2013 at still lower than my healthy body fat level, whereas after the show on this one, I quickly got myself up to a healthier body fat level. Granted, a little bit faster than I guess would be ideal. And it came with some perks. It came with some downsides too, but with everything, I mean, that's just life. So that was a back off set of 355. The top set was 375 for 8, which was great because the top set in the previous squat workout was 365 for 8. So with a lot of these lifts, I'm basically just hitting some aggressive, some violent progression. Not currently doing 753, and I'll say why, because I'm able to experience really, really rapid strength gains at this moment, such that pretty much damn near every lift, I can add 5 or 10 pounds per workout session, and I'll be doing that for the next, handful of weeks until I have to cut that in half, and then a half again, and then I will move on to a progression method like 753. Which has you working off, the same training max for an entire month. That's just the thing with me right now is that now that I'm back, now that my body is kind of normal, quote unquote, it's it feels regular, it feels healthy again. I can make these kinds of improvements, and just so no one's confused, I'm just improving to what I previously could do. So this is 205 right here for 6. The last workout I did 185 for 9. And I was going to do 185 for 10 this workout, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like playing with 205. So I did 205 for 6, dropped to 10% to 185. hit that, dropped to 10% again, and wanted to see how many I could hit at that. So just some serious progression over these last 2 weeks. And like I said, that's just because I've spent time back at a healthier body fat level and finally feeling normal again. And I'm actually at a point where I'm not even focused on getting body weight right now, whereas normally like I would focus on, a caloric surplus for me to continue gaining strength. I'm simply regaining the strength I already had, previously, rebuilding muscle that I already had, such that like I'm pretty much doing all of this at like maintaining the same body weight. And I guess at the same time I'm losing body fat, building muscle, losing fat at the same time. Just from getting back to where I was, if that makes any sense. Pretty excited again to see what kind of numbers I can put up in the future. Kind of excited to see like how many times I could end up repping, overhead press with 205 pounds, that top set I just did, where I did 6. It'd be pretty sick to be able to do that, 10 times. Maybe even 225 pounds for a set of 5 or a set of 8. Maybe like it would be a sickening long-term goal to be able to overhead press 225 for a set of 10. So what? Is she laughing at me? It's kind of like one of my long-term goals. It's good to have little things that you're shooting for, constantly progressing towards. But I think the main thing is that you're keeping track of your weights and just making sure that everything is getting better every single time, or at least in the grand scheme of your week, month, or year. So that's what it's all about. It's just about progression. I'm excited about these damn pull downs, simply because I was doing 200 pounds, and for the past 5-6 weeks, I've been basically just been doing like 160 or 175 pounds. So over this past week, I've been able to really increase the weight. I went lower rep than normal on this. I did a set of 8. Then I did a set of 10, and then I did a set of like 15. I just did a little bit less weight with each set. So just trying some different things. I usually do a top set with equal, back off set weights. But for some exercises, I'm sticking with that. For example, like squats. That's how I like to squat. But some other exercises like this, I'm playing with different rep ranges.
That ass. Huh?
You have to make sure it's open.
Oh, it is open.
So you guys remember I had that, whole issue with my elbow. So I've been doing things like this for chest instead. This is my primary chest exercise at the moment, until I bring back flat barbell benching and dumbbell benching, flat incline, all that good stuff. Mostly just because of the elbow. But give it a week or two, be back 100%. Just playing with this for now. Sticking to mostly hypertrophy rep ranges too. Looks like I'm doing sets of 13.
Whoa, look at those calves.
What are you talking
Woo!
about? Did you guys see those calves?
Damn!
Ah. Genetics.
So first of all, what is 753? 753 is a hybrid training program for those with a mix of strength as well as hypertrophy goals. So this could be anyone between 25% strength, 75% bodybuilding goals, all the way to the person who is 75% strength, 25% bodybuilding goals. I would say that if a person was 100%, maybe 80 to 100% powerlifting oriented, they could stick to a different program. If a person was 80 to 100% bodybuilding training oriented, they could probably stick to a different program. But if you were somewhere in the middle, like I said, between 25 and 75 of either, you might want to try out this program. One of the reasons you may not want to do this program is if all you do care about is your power lifts, your squat, bench press, and your deadlift, you're going to be doing a lot of unnecessary work towards your goal. You're going to be doing lots of things that aren't necessarily going to help your squat, bench press, and your deadlift. Likewise, if hypertrophy was your main goal, you were 80 to 100% bodybuilding oriented, and you actually knew what that means in terms of optimal training, you probably wouldn't want to do this because you're probably better off not doing tons and tons and tons of sets of threes. Fives, maybe you could throw some fives in for bodybuilding style training, but tons of threes, you're better off not. So just to clarify, here's a little infographic. If you train 80 to 100% bodybuilding and you know exactly what you're doing and you're seeing results, or you train 80 to 100% powerlifting and you know exactly what you're doing and you're seeing results, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you train 25 to 75% strength or 25 to 75% bodybuilding, or you don't know exactly what you're doing or you're not seeing results, definitely check out Ogus753. Matt, I've been lifting for 6 months or 1 year. Would you recommend 753 for me? It just depends. I think 753 is great for anybody who has really milked out pretty much all of the linear gains in terms of their squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press. So that means on a regular basis you can't just consistently add reps or more weight every single workout. You're beyond that level. You're at that point where you can't add that much weight. In fact, you might only be able to add weight once a month or something like that. So that's when you get on a training program like 753. 753 is mostly a 4 days a week training program. It can be customized to 3 days a week. It can be customized, oh, little puppy, hey buddy. It can be customized to 5 or even 6 days a week. But for most of you guys, I would probably keep it at 4 days a week. Where are you going, buddy? Huh? What are you doing? Just chill with daddy for a second. God, I love this guy. Hi. There you go, buddy. What, you want back up now? You want back up now? You're crazy, boy. He's crazy. So a lot of the key, fundamentals, the core principles of 753 are the same core, fundamentals and principles that basically everybody should have for their training programs. So a lot of what's in this book is general guidelines for training, period. And that was a huge objective of mine, and it has always been, is just help people train better, whether they're doing this program, that program, my program, someone else's program. So a lot of the key fundamentals are things such as, your compound lifts. Oh, buddy, chill. Be careful. Your compound lifts before your isolation movements. Barbells before dumbbells, before machines, and so on and so forth, stuff like that. Another key component of 753 is, of course, the 7s, the 5s, the 3s. The percentages, the reps, and sets scheme that for a lot of people will get them into training max-based programming. Training based off of a number or a training max that they know they can hit, and hitting certain reps and sets based on that number, and then every month adding to that number, because theoretically they've gotten stronger if they were able to complete these reps, these sets within this month. So they're constantly adding on this number, it changes these numbers. And I've actually created some Excel spreadsheets that I was kind of impressed by myself because I don't normally do Excel. I was like, damn, I did a pretty good job. I made some pretty cool Excel sheets that accompany this. There's about 6 total sheets for the 3 different versions of 753. And you plug in your estimated best sets. So, if you're trying to figure out your training max, the basic calculation is boom, right here on the board or right here on the screen. But what I did in the Excel spreadsheets that come with the program is, you just type in your best squat set ever. Maybe it was 300 pounds for 2 reps, 300 pounds for 10 reps, whatever it might be. Usually somewhere in the 2 to 8 range is probably where you want to get this estimation from. Plug it in and then it automatically plots out all your lifts until eventually you may have to make a change or reset your training max or, make some sort of adjustment. Ooh, so here's a good question, Matt. How does a typical 753 workout go? So generally it's going to start with your major lift. So it's either with a squat, a deadlift, bench press, or overhead press. You do your workout that's based off of a training max. So it's either your 7s, your 5s, your 3s, maybe your 6s if you're doing a certain version of my training program. Or maybe it is your top set week and you go for a new top set PR. So you do your core work, I call it, and then you do more work. And I call it more work because, a lot of times when we have this idea that what's after that first lift is just, accessory work or secondary work. Sometimes, not everyone, of course, some people though, it gets kind of downplayed. It's not as important. You start cutting sets off here and there. For some people, they might just leave the gym after they do their main work. And obviously the main important thing when you do go to the gym is that you accomplish your major objectives. And of course, the less important objectives are not as important as these ones, the big ones. But if you really want to, the whole idea of 753 is for people who have strength and hypertrophy goals. If you just had strength goals, just hit that main primary work. But if you're a person who has strength and bodybuilding, physique, hypertrophy goals, you might want to, or you have to kind of, do strength work and quite a bit of hypertrophy work to grow every single muscle that you want to grow. Obviously, you can have, mesocycles of more work here, less work here, more work here, less work here. But in the gist of a year, you're gonna have to be doing lots of strength work and hypertrophy work. If you want more, you gotta fucking do more. It's as simple as that. And this leads me to another good question, Matt. How long are the workouts? The length of your workout depends on your goals. It depends on what you want to grow, what you don't want to grow, so on and so forth. How much time you have to dedicate to the gym, and how many days a week you're going to the gym. If you're trying to fit in, let's just make shit up here, 1,000,000 pounds into one workout, that means 1,000,000 pounds in that one workout. If you're trying to fit 1,000,000 pounds in your week via one workout, you gotta fit all the 1,000,000 pounds in that one workout. But if you have 3, you can spread it out. You got 333,000 pounds per workout, so on and so forth. If you have 5, then that means you have 200,000 pounds per workout. So the more days per week, you can kind of spread things out a little bit more. In my experience, I've found that people with purely bodybuilding goals, so they're training mostly the 8 to 12 rep range. A lot of these, or 8 to 15 rep range even. A lot of these people can get in and out of the gym in 1 to 2 hours. Right, 1.5 hours, 1.5 probably being the sweet spot. Anywhere between 4 to 6 days a week, 1.5 hours, right? And that's cool because that's bodybuilding work. But when you're doing sets that are under 8 reps, under 6 reps, under 5 reps, your rest periods end up being longer. Especially if you're not training 6 days, but if you're training 4 days a week and you're trying to pack in the volume that you would have done in 6 into 4 while still getting strength training done. Workouts can get pretty long, and I think that for most people who try to pack in the whole
like the biggest amount of more work possible, as much work as they can possibly fit. Their workouts seem to be anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours long. And that's not very atypical. These are for people who have strength goals, who also are hitting their hypertrophy goals in just 4 workouts. Now, that's, let's just say it was 3 hours per workout. That's 4 workouts, 12 hours a week. Now, for those people that cut that into, 6 workouts, it'll end up being, buddy, right around 2 hours of workout. So, you can take the amount of work you have to do and you can spread it out throughout the week. It really just depends on you. And of course, if people have, a child at home, a wife at home, multiple children, they don't have that much time they can spend in the gym. Sometimes that means that you can only do the strength work and maybe half of the more work that you would have liked to have done. So you have to just plan things out accordingly. Quite often you do not see extremely busy people, everyday Joes, doing tons of strength work for hypertrophy reasons, simply because strength work generally takes longer, especially to get the same hypertrophic response as the purely hypertrophy style training over here. Because to get the same amount of volume as this guy's hypertrophy training, this guy doing the strength work has to do more sets with longer rest periods, right? Because these sets have less reps. So it takes this guy a little bit longer. He does have the added benefit of more strength in the lower rep ranges and maybe even higher, who knows too. But he spends more time in the gym, which for a lot of people, time is everything. Time is money, time is life. Then now is all you have. So guys, it really just depends. You could use this program and you could spend 1 hour in the gym. You could spend 2 hours in the gym. Spend 3 hours in the gym. How long you spend in the gym is your choice. It's literally your choice. And that's one of the themes of this training program I made. In the book, 753, I just tried to educate people into knowing, like, dude, it is completely your choice in how you train, how much time you spend in the gym, based on all the different goals you may have. If you have all these fucking goals, just know that it's harder to reach them if you have more, and also you have less time for each. You're spreading yourself thinner, and also you'll have to spend more time in the gym. So I think self-awareness is fucking huge. Self-awareness is everything. It's so helpful to understand things. And that's one of the things that I write about a lot in the 753 ebook.